What if I told you that the most powerful AI model ever created just had its safety report card made public, and buried inside the document are details that should genuinely change how you think about the next 12 months of artificial intelligence? OpenAI just dropped the system card for GPT-5.4 Thinking, their newest flagship reasoning model, and this isn't some incremental update. This is a generational leap. We're talking about a model so capable that hedge funds are already building billion-dollar investment research engines on top of it. Meanwhile, new research is revealing that these advanced reasoning models might not be as transparent as we thought. Google is firing back with Gemini 3.1 Pro, and Anthropic just made a move that could put an AI agent on every non-technical worker's desktop. In the next 17 minutes, you'll discover why GPT 5.4 Thinking represents a turning point in AI development, what its system card actually reveals about safety and capability, and why the entire AI landscape just shifted beneath our feet. Welcome back to World of AI, your home for breaking down the biggest stories in artificial intelligence so you can actually understand what they mean for the real world. If you've been following this channel, you know we've been tracking the rapid acceleration of frontier AI models for months now. But this week? This week hit different. We've got 5 major stories to unpack today, and they all connect in ways that paint a very clear picture of where this technology is heading. Our main event is the GPT 5.4 Thinking System Card, which is essentially OpenAI showing the world the internal safety evaluation of their most advanced model. But we're also covering Google's answer with Gemini 3.1 Pro, a genuinely alarming research paper about whether reasoning models can hide their thoughts, a new AI security agent called Codex Security, and Anthropic's bold move to put an AI agent in the hands of everyday users with something called Cowork. Each of these stories on its own would be headline news. Together, they tell us something profound about the moment we're living through. So let's get into it, starting with the story that has the entire AI community buzzing. Let's talk about GPT 5.4 Thinking and what its system card actually reveals. For those unfamiliar, a system card is essentially a technical report that AI companies publish alongside major model releases. It documents capabilities, safety evaluations, known risks, and the measures taken to mitigate those risks. Think of it like the nutritional label on your food, except instead of calories and sodium, you're looking at persuasion capabilities and autonomous behavior benchmarks. Now, what makes GPT 5.4 Thinking different from everything that came before it is that this model doesn't just generate text. It reasons. And not in the superficial way that earlier models mimicked reasoning. This model engages in extended chains of thought, working through problems step by step in ways that are genuinely novel. OpenAI is positioning this as a major generational leap beyond GPT-4o, and based on the benchmarks in the system card, that claim appears to be justified. The system card reveals performance improvements across virtually every category they test for. We're talking about mathematics, coding, scientific reasoning, complex multi-step problem solving, and nuanced language understanding. But here's where it gets really interesting for the real world. Enterprise customers are already building on this model. Balyasny Asset Management, a major hedge fund, has been highlighted as building investment research engines powered by GPT 5.4 Thinking. Let that sink in. We're not talking about a chatbot that helps you write emails. We're talking about a reasoning system sophisticated enough that people managing billions of dollars in assets trust it to help analyze markets and generate investment insights. The system card also addresses safety evaluations in detail. OpenAI tested GPT 5.4 Thinking against their preparedness framework, which measures risks across categories like cybersecurity, biological threats, persuasion, and model autonomy. According to the card, the model was evaluated for its ability to assist with potentially dangerous tasks and was found to remain within acceptable risk thresholds after safety mitigations were applied. But, and this is crucial, the card also acknowledges that as capabilities increase, the margin for error shrinks. The more powerful the model, the more precise the safety measures need to be. This is the fundamental tension at the heart of frontier AI development right now. Every leap in capability is simultaneously a leap in potential risk. And GPT 5.4 Thinking is a very big leap. And speaking of reasoning models and safety, this next story connects directly to what we just discussed. A new research paper has dropped with a title that should make everyone pay attention: Reasoning Models Struggle to Control Their Chains of Thought. This research examines a question that sounds simple but has enormous implications. Can reasoning models actually control what they verbalize in their internal thinking process? Here's why this matters. Models like GPT-5.4 Thinking and other advanced reasoning systems work by generating a chain of thought before producing their final answer. This chain of thought is supposed to be monitorable. It's one of the key safety mechanisms. The idea is that if a model is reasoning through something problematic, we can see it happening in the chain of thought and intervene. It's like having a window into the model's mind. But this new research suggests that window might be foggier than we assumed. The researchers found that reasoning models struggle to reliably control what appears in their chain of thought. Sometimes the models verbalize information they were instructed to suppress. Other times, they fail to express reasoning steps that they're clearly using internally. In other words, the chain of thought doesn't always faithfully represent what the model is actually doing under the hood. Now, think about what this means in the context of GPT-5.4 thinking. If we're relying on chain of thought monitoring as a safety mechanism, and if that chain of thought isn't a reliable representation of the model's actual reasoning process, then we have a fundamental monitorability problem. This doesn't mean the sky is falling. But it does mean that the AI safety community needs to develop additional methods for understanding what's happening inside these models beyond just reading their chain of thought. The researchers raise pointed questions about whether current safety frameworks, including those described in system cards like the one OpenAI just released, adequately account for this gap. It's a sobering reminder that as these models get more powerful, the challenge of understanding them grows in lockstep. Now let's shift gears to two stories about AI agents moving into the real world in very different but equally significant ways. First up, OpenAI has released Codex Security in Research Preview. This is an AI application security agent, and I want to emphasize the word agent here because this is not just a tool that scans your code for known vulnerabilities. Codex Security analyzes the full context of your project, detects complex vulnerabilities, validates whether they're actually exploitable, and then generates patches to fix them. It does all of this with what OpenAI claims is higher confidence and significantly less noise than traditional security scanning tools. If you've ever worked with traditional code security scanners, you know the pain of false positives. You run a scan, it flags 200 issues, and maybe 15 of them are actually real problems. The rest are noise that wastes developer time. Codex Security is designed to solve that problem by actually understanding the context of your codebase, not just pattern matching against a database of known vulnerabilities. This is a meaningful step toward AI agents that don't just assist developers but actively protect software systems. And then on the other side of the AI agent coin, Anthropic just launched something called Cowork. This is a Claude desktop agent that works directly in your files, and here's the key part: it requires no coding knowledge whatsoever. Cowork extends the capabilities of Claude Code, which was previously a tool for developers, and makes that agentic power available to non-technical users. What does that look like in practice? Imagine telling an AI to go through your documents folder, find every quarterly report from the last 2 years, extract the revenue figures, compile them into a spreadsheet, and create a summary with trends. Not just answering a question about them. Actually doing the work, moving files, editing them, creating new ones. That's what Cowork is designed to do. Anthropic is directly challenging OpenAI's agent strategy here, and they're doing it by targeting the much larger market of non-technical users. Both of these releases signal something important. We're moving from the era of AI as conversational assistant to AI as autonomous worker. Codex Security works independently to protect your code. Cowork works independently to manage your files. The common thread is agency, AI systems that don't wait for you to ask the right question but instead take action on your behalf. And that transition, from assistant to agent, is arguably the most consequential shift happening in AI right now. Now let's zoom out and put all of this into perspective with a deep dive on what GPT 5.4 thinking really means for the trajectory of AI development. Because I think a lot of people are going to focus on the benchmarks and miss the bigger picture. When OpenAI releases a system card for a model called GPT 5.4 Thinking, several things become clear. First, the naming itself tells us that OpenAI has moved well past GPT-5 and is already iterating within the 5.x family. This suggests a cadence of improvement that is significantly faster than what we saw between GPT-4 and GPT-4o. The gap between major capability levels is shrinking, and the pace of iteration within those levels is accelerating. Second, the fact that enterprise customers like Balyasny are already deploying this model for high-stakes financial applications tells us something about reliability. You don't build an investment research engine on a model you don't trust. The fact that sophisticated institutional users are betting real capital on GPT 5.4 Thinking's outputs is arguably a stronger endorsement than any benchmark score. It means the model has crossed a threshold of practical reliability that makes it viable for domains where being wrong has immediate, measurable financial consequences. Third, and this is where it gets really interesting, consider the system card in the context of the chain of thought research we discussed earlier. OpenAI is being transparent about their safety evaluations, which is commendable. But the research showing that reasoning models struggle to control their chains of thought raises legitimate questions about whether our current evaluation methods are sufficient for models at this capability level. We might be measuring safety with tools that don't fully capture what these models are actually doing internally. Now, let me offer a prediction, and I want to be clear, this is informed speculation, not insider knowledge. Looking at Google's simultaneous release of Gemini 3.1 Pro, which is specifically designed for tasks where, quote, a simple answer isn't enough, end quote, we're seeing the entire frontier lab ecosystem converge on reasoning as the primary axis of competition. Google isn't just trying to match GPT 5.4 Thinking. They're building their own reasoning paradigm with Gemini 3.1 Pro, optimized for complex multi-step tasks that require deep analysis rather than quick responses. What I think we're going to see in the next 6 to 12 months is a reasoning arms race that makes the chatbot wars of 2023 look quaint. The models are going to get dramatically better at sustained, multi-step thinking. The agents are going to get dramatically better at taking real-world actions. And the safety challenges are going to get dramatically more complex because we're building systems that can reason in ways we can't fully observe or control. The question isn't whether these models will transform industries. That's already happening with Balyansky and others. The question is whether our safety infrastructure, our evaluation methods, and our regulatory frameworks can keep pace with capabilities that are accelerating faster than almost anyone predicted. The system card for GPT 5.4 Thinking is both a testament to how far we've come and a warning about how much work remains to be done. Alright, let's bring it all together with 3 key takeaways from everything we covered today. Takeaway number 1. GPT 5.4 Thinking represents a genuine generational leap in AI reasoning, and the fact that enterprise customers are already building high-stakes applications on it tells us this isn't just marketing hype. The capabilities are real, they're here, and they're being deployed in domains that matter. Takeaway number 2. The safety conversation is getting more complex, not simpler. New research showing that reasoning models can't fully control their chains of thought raises fundamental questions about monitorability, and every AI company, including OpenAI, needs to grapple with this gap between what we can observe and what these models are actually doing. Takeaway number 3. The shift from AI assistants to AI agents is accelerating from all directions. Whether it's OpenAI's Codex security protecting codebases autonomously or Anthropic's Cowork putting file management agents on non-technical users' desktops, the era of AI that acts, not just answers, has arrived. We are living through what might be the most consequential period in the history of technology, and these stories are just from one single week. If you found this breakdown valuable, smash that like button so more people can see it. Drop a comment below telling me which story surprised you the most. I genuinely read every single comment and it helps me understand what you want to see more of. And if you're new here, this is what we do every week, breaking down the biggest AI stories so you actually understand what they mean and why they matter. Next time, we'll be diving deep into the emerging world of AI agent frameworks and why every major tech company is racing to build the operating system for autonomous AI. You won't want to miss that one. Subscribe to World of AI so you never miss the latest AI news.